Hi, welcome back to Stitch with Grace. My name's Amanda, and today I'm going to share with you some of the books that we picked up at our biannual book sale at our local library. So stay tuned to see what we were able to snag. Okay, so for my son, we picked up this Hello Vermont book. I actually found this when we were in Vermont back in August, but it was $10 and I felt like that was a little bit pricey for a board book, so I passed up on it and I picked this one up for 50 cents today. So we added that to my son's board book collection. He's still only 2 and he's learning how to turn pages, and so I try to keep him away from the books that will tear. So I'm happy that we were able to grab that and maybe reminisce a little bit about our trip to Vermont, which was one of our favorite vacations we've taken. I also picked up On Angel Wings, and this is illustrated by Quentin Black. He's one of our favorite children's book illustrators. He actually illustrated the Roald Dahl book series that Costco is selling. And I'll just give you a little peek. So this is Baby Jesus. We just love the watercolor and the black line fountain pen. I like the sketchiness of it, so maybe that's why I also really enjoy Quentin Black and his illustrations. So I'm excited to add On Angel Wings to our Christmas book collection that we read every year. For my daughter, I picked her up a Junie B. Jones book. We've never read Junie B. Jones before. She's been really into Fancy Nancy, which I do not like at all, but she does, and so we read it and I suffer through it, but hopefully we can kind of expand her into some other female lead-driven books that are not Fancy Nancy. And then she also picked out an I Spy book. These are her favorite, and she really enjoys hunting down all of the clues. For both of my kids, I picked up The House at Pooh Corner, which I was so happy to find. And this was actually printed, I think it was 1956. So a good 50 plus years old. So that's pretty exciting. And I'm looking forward to reading it. And I feel like the book jacket's a little messed up, but the actual book is in really, really good condition. So that makes me really, really happy. So we'll probably start that one really soon. And then I found this one. It's called The Pepins and Their Problems. And I've never read this before, but I just read the little kind of book jacket insert to my daughter, and she started laughing right away. So it says, whether it's waking up to find toads in their shoes, becoming trapped on the roof, or searching for cheese when their cows only make lemonade, the Pepin family always seems to get into the most bizarre scrapes, which I thought sounded clever and funny. So I'm looking forward to reading that to them. For myself, I went straight to the poetry and classics section. That's a goal of mine over the next year, is to read more classics. I did not grow up with a strong literature background, and I honestly read trashy books basically my entire life, which is like not easy to admit. But that's what happened. It was just easy reading for me. I never really forced myself to struggle through a book. And now that I'm classically educating my kids, I realize how poor my grammar is, how poor my ability to understand just like the English language and English grammar, and how hard it is for me to continuously read something and be able to like really have it in my mind. I have to reread things multiple times. So as an adult, I am reclaiming my education as I'm teaching my children, and that's really exciting. And I think that's a really great aspect to classical education. So here are some of the books I picked up for myself. So the first one is Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte, I think is how you say her name. Again, no literature background here, but I'm trying. And I had also picked up Jane Eyre and made this connection, which I feel like Charlotte Bronte, I think is how you say the name. Apparently they're sisters. So who knew? Not me. I did not know this. So I'm really excited to read both of these and compare them, because they grew up probably reading and playing with each other, and I want to know how similar their writing styles are, or if they're different, or what their voices are. So I'm so excited. So super, super excited. for both of these, and these were each $1. So score. I'm trying to think. Okay, so this one was $7 and this one was $8 if I had bought them at regular price, so I'm pretty happy about that. I also picked up The Scarlet Letter, which is one that I've always wanted to read. This is also only $1, so I will be digging into that one. I picked this one up to read to my kids. So we read Treasure Island just a few months ago. This is Sherlock Holmes, The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. This one was $3, but I think it's because it was a hardback bound. Let's see when it was. I'll tell you when it was. 1975. So it's in like really great condition. The pages are not yellowed or anything. So I'm really excited to read this to my children because I think both of my kids would be interested in this. I picked up the quotable Shakespeare, and so it's kind of divided up by topics, so like trees, flowers, and gardens, learning and wit, friendship and love, and so it's not by story. We've been reading a lot of the children's Shakespeare, and I've been reading some of the Shakespeare sonnets to my daughter. It was a book that she picked out like 2 months ago at the bookstore, and I'll occasionally read it to her. Again, no literature background here, and I'm also not a person who has ever really enjoyed poetry. I've like forced myself to kind of understand and learn a little bit about it over the last year. So I just thought this would be a fun little resource to have. And then the final one I picked up is a guide for instructors. It's the Norton Anthology to Western Literature. This was only $1. It's actually a not for sale book. And I'm excited about this. So it starts off with kind of going through kind of like a Socratic circle of the Hebrew Bible. And so it talks about background, topics for discussion, topics for writing, comparative perspectives. And so it's all just kind of laid out for an instructor to work through the Socratic circle with the class. I was just flipping through the contents and I was reading some of the authors' names, and that's kind of what made me pick this up. It was only $1. So they have Alfred Lord Tennyson, Walt Whitman, Emily Dickinson, who else? Virginia Woolf. So these are all pretty big names, and it just kind of takes you through their writing with a little bit more thoughtful questions than maybe I would be able to come up with on my own. So I'm excited to have this as a resource. And even as my daughter gets a little bit older, I know that we have the narrative of the Life of Frederick Douglass as one of the books that she'll probably be reading when she is a teenager. And so there's a whole section in here on him. So that was our library haul. And again, the library is a great resource for their local annual sales. It's usually divided up similar to how you find things in the library, and books are usually priced between 50 cents and $2. And it's a great way to support your local library, and it gives them money. They can buy new books. So I would highly recommend it if you're looking for an inexpensive option to grow your own home library. So definitely check with your local library and see when their next book annual sale is. And that's all I have for today. So thanks for watching. Bye. Okay, I'm back. So I had to Google search / YouTube how to say this name, and it's Bronte. So it makes an E sound, not an A sound. So I was saying Bronte, it's Bronte. So thank you, Jesus, for Google and YouTube, and for people who go out of their way to pronounce things so that we can just search it and listen to it. So thank you. Have a good day. Bye.